Yvonne Colbert on your side and meteorologist Steve Weagle. This is the ATV Evening News, live at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Live at 5 for Thursday, April 4th. I'm Nancy Regan.
And I'm Paul Meunier. Here's a look at some of the stories we're working on for tonight's show.
I'm Nicole Brown, high above the Atlantic Ocean. We're aboard a Sea King helicopter on our way to meet the crew of HMCS Fredericton. They've just served 6 months in the Adriatic, and now they're coming home. Join us for their homecoming, coming up on Live at 5.
I'm Dan Vio in Borden, Prince Edward Island. A busy spot this afternoon at the beginning of what's become a very busy holiday travel weekend for Maritimers. I'll have more tonight on Live at 5.
Also tonight, a Maritimer's scenic view is ruined by a billboard. She called ATV's Yvonne Colbert on your side. We've got the story later.
And just what does it take to make it to the cheerleading championship? Find out later as we attend a maritime competition.
It's Mary Morrison. Yeah, you know, the one whose calls you haven't returned for a year and a half.
And she's loved for her characters from the Cape Breton Summertime Review. Now, Bet and brother Ed McDonald are striking out alone. Some terrific Made in the Maritimes comedy later. It is all ahead on the edition of Live at 5. That is, Thursday now, right? The day before Good Friday.
Yeah. Was she talking to you about not returning those calls
she
for
cracks
more
me
than
up.
a
I
year?
just can't think when I'm thinking about her. She's funny.
Just tremendous.
What do we got coming up at 6, Steve?
Well, it's finally going to happen, Paul. Some said it probably never would, but the universities in Metro Halifax are inching toward amalgamation. They're being merged into a Halifax University consortium. It means changes in the way they do their business, also means changes for the students as well. Among other things, students from one university will be able to take classes at another. Administrative services are also being shared. It's going to save a lot of money. We have a reaction to this idea tonight at 6 o'clock. Also tonight, the word from the University of Moncton is that the Blue Eagles will play hockey next season. The university has lifted its one-year suspension on the team. That came after this melee when members of the team beat up a referee during this playoff game in Charlottetown. We'll tell you why the ban has been lifted tonight at 6 o'clock. All these stories are coming up here in your ATV Evening News tonight. Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Steve Weagle, who's working on the maritime weather tonight. Steve?
Thanks very much, Stephen. It's a long weekend across the Maritimes. The sunshine had a chance to break out in some areas during the day today, but that low-pressure system just off the coast is going to be with us right into the weekend, so it will remain unsettled. Of course, I'll have all your weekend weather for your travel plans coming up later in the show. Steve?
Yes, indeed. Weagle weather here at 5:30, and then at 6 o'clock, all the day's top stories, including the writing on the wall. You know, it costs the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars to get rid of this. Graffiti. It's a big problem, and school officials want us to do something about it. We'll find out what they have in mind tonight here in your ATV Evening News at 6 o'clock. But right now, it's back to Paul and Nancy and Live at 5 tonight. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen. First at 5 tonight, we're on board for a very special maritime homecoming on the eve of Easter weekend.
HMCS Fredericton sailed into Halifax Harbor about 2 hours ago. The crew of 225 were met by families and friends at dockside. They've been apart for more than 5 months.
Tonight, we'll meet the crew
having made better.
Wacky Wheatley's big 20th anniversary sale celebration ends Saturday, and it's wrapping up with an incredible 12-hour sale from 9 till 9. Final price reductions and special last-day bargains will be in effect. Everything in the store is interest-free, some items up to 12 months. One lucky customer making a purchase on Saturday will win $2,100 bills. That's right, $2,100 bills. Wacky Wheatley's giant 20th anniversary sale celebration ends Saturday. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to Live at 5. Yeah, that is a palm tree covering a little bit of the lunar eclipse last night. Too bad about the cloud cover up here in much of the Maritimes, but for people a little further down the coast, and I guess for some Maritimers who got to see it too, it was spectacular. Almost 2 hours full lunar eclipse. The moon darkened, but tinged by colors from the blood red sky to pink to gray, something else.
Wow.
Anyway, Steve, who did see it here in the Maritimes last night?
There was folks down through Yarmouth, St. Stephen, and some areas around St. John, and also around Grand Manan, who saw it. The cloud just broke up enough later last night to get a glimpse of that, and you can see there was clear skies. Well, this is the picture right now, but there was a ridge of high pressure last evening which gave clear skies all the way down through Florida. Now, there isn't another eclipse coming up in September 26. So mark that on your calendars. Of course, I'll mention it later this year. As far as the latest satellite shot, you can see the cloud wrapping around. Some sunshine broke through the southwest corner of the region, but we're still looking at a mainly cloudy weekend as this very, very slow-moving low-pressure system pushes away. Could make for some tricky driving conditions overnight tonight, too, with snow squall activity where those northerly and northwesterly winds blow onshore through the Moncton area all the way up through the northern mainland of Nova Scotia. So give yourself some extra time if you're headed out this weekend. Now for tomorrow morning, the wake-up weather looks like this, mainly cloudy in the morning and chilly out there, -3s and -2s for the morning temperature. So you may want to sleep in the morning. All right, here's our weather watchers. Our first weather watcher comes from New Carlisle, Quebec, on the southern coast of the Gaspé, just across from the Bay of Chaleur and the Acadian Peninsula. It's drawn by grade 1 student Stephen Renoff, and it is 2 people enjoying the sunshine. And Jenny Ann Marshall is our second weather watcher today. She's 11 years old, lives in Amherst, Nova Scotia, beautiful spot in the Maritimes. She has a great Easter weekend weather shot in her picture there. So if you want to become an instant Rembrandt, here's how you do it. Send us your drawings to Live at 5, Post Office Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia. And please include your address and telephone number as well. Paul and Nancy.